All right, everyone. Welcome to another fight night for Internet Championship Fighting. Tonight we've got a pretty banger of a card presented by me, Dale, better known as Kelvin the Iceman Lamb, and our boy Minrath over here.
Also known as Mike LaFleur, current Xbox champion. We have
Yes,
some
that's right.
great fights for you today. Transitioning over to the fight card, there is Cage versus Dogu Altune. There's Brunson versus Sip, Luke Libre versus Young, myself versus Batoris Mendez, and Dylan Audrey versus Tate.
We've got some killer fights that should be lined up tonight. Audrey versus Tate should be a fun one.
And now we'll transition into the first fight, which is Audrey versus Tate. Now currently,
Let's go.
Calvin, do you have this up in front of you, sir? Are you ready?
Oh, I am ready indeed.
All right. So now we begin with our first fight. Now we can see Audrey here in the red corner currently. Now I have fought Dylan, I believe, on one occasion, and he is a very tough opponent, for sure.
Absolutely, I agree with you, man. I fought him a handful of times. Instant show of respect. You know, we gotta give it to these fighters here. You know, they're not out there taunting every second of the fight. Like, you know, I've done. But instant acknowledgement of each other's skills. Had some nice kicks.
Tate is definitely showing Audrey some respect, but now he's decided to try and gain some ground here, pushing him back to the fence. Lots of kicks being thrown out right in this beginning round.
So far, Tate's been pressuring more so than Audrey has. He's been kind of leading this fight pace-wise.
He really has, and I like the movement style here from Audrey. Leaning in and out, just making sure he's right out of range of those strikes.
Yeah, he's taking a very karate stance towards this, moving in and out, just relying on that footwork to get around Tate's defense.
These leg kicks and these head kicks, though, they seem to be really having an effect on Tate. I don't see very many checks coming his way.
Oh, he's focusing on blocking off these punches, which is all great, but when Audrey comes in with those leg kicks, I mean, there's nothing there.
And you can see Audrey has already planted those seeds of that mix-up in Tate's head.
And he's got Tate down where he's coming from. Is he coming up high? Is he coming up low? He's got no idea, right? But despite that, he's still pressuring.
He is still.
You gotta give him respect.
Definitely. He deserves those props, but he's letting him gain some ground. Lots of distance management going on here, especially with those knees and those teeps.
No one's quite gotten the rhythm for punching yet, it seems, but just as I say that, Audrey gets a nice jab straight on him.
Yes, Audrey seems to have the clear advantage in the striking show early on, but the tides could shift.
Tate's still in this. These men are both fresh. 2.5 minutes into the first round, coming up on that, and I gotta say, it's pretty even.
It definitely is. I could score this a bit more for Audrey, but Tate could bring this back before we know the round's over.
And Tate's going for the body too. They're both working it, trying to get the other tired.
They really are, and great counter-striking from Audrey. Just hitting Tate as soon as he comes in.
Oh, a nice switch kick from Audrey right there. Oh, man.
Extremely great work here.
Oh, little bit of distance management there, trying to bait the other out. With a nice front kick from Audrey. He is really bringing it in this last 30 seconds.
He really is, and you can start to see the stamina difference coming early on.
Yeah, they're both swinging, and they're swinging hard, man. I'd be surprised if this goes all 3 rounds, honestly.
I will too. There's a lot of switch kicks being thrown, and that switch kick is a great mix-up. As soon as one of these fighters can capitalize on that, I think that could be a path to victory.
Oh, but good counter strike from Tate there. Ate that side kick right into a lead hook. Nasty.
He definitely did. And these knees are taking their toll on Tate's body. Slowly but surely, Dylan is chipping him away.
Oh, he caught the leg there. Tate's got to defend the body a little bit more.
Yeah, we're not seeing him lower his hands. But I think it's because he's afraid of that high kick right there.
Yeah, Audrey knows how to just flick that out at a moment's notice. Oh, nice grip from Tate. There we go, a little bit of groundwork. Let's bring it down and bring him pound. Oh, let's go.
This could be how Tate turns the tides here. But Audrey gets a great back-sitting transition.
The grappling could make the difference for either one of these.
It really could. And especially with the stamina advantage, if ground and pound is really taken advantage of, then we could see an early finish. But that's very unlikely right here at the end of the round.
The question right here is just how good is Tate on his back? He's blocking this ground and pound pretty well.
He is. He's posting the hooks up very, very well.
Alright, round one is over. We're checking the stats here. 130 to 105 total strikes. Striking advantage goes to Dylan Audrey.
Yes, definitely. You can see that he is just chipping away, and that work might prevail in this round if he can keep it standing. And he can just make sure he keeps that control.
Absolutely. Oh, but it went straight to the ground. Smart game plan change from Tate. Grapple a little bit more. The skill level's a bit more even there.
If Tate can chip away while on the ground, he can definitely even everything up.
Oh, absolutely. If he uses some offensive wrestling to offset Dylan, it could change the entire matchup radically.
Good takedown defense from Tate as well.
He's coming out strong in round two.
He definitely is. He's controlling the pace of this round for sure, but he's starting to get pushed back a little.
He knows the last round might not have gone to him. He's getting a little bit upset about that.
Tate seems
to be able to take
yeah, very big head kick.
Ooh, that might have got. Ooh,
he's caught.
Is getting close. Oh, spinning back this. Oh, dude, it was seconds away from ending.
Very close, but that just shows you Dylan's mindset going into this. He knows that he has to back up in those situations.
He kept calm and composed. You gotta hand him that. A lot of guys panic and try to do a big kick there. But not Dylan. He's patient, calm, and collected.
Oh, and that switch kick lands again. It was working very well for Dylan in the beginning, but now it's working even better for Tate.
Nice body hook. Ooh, nasty leg kick.
The kicks are great in this fight. I will say they are A1. Perfect range and distances.
Both these guys have been practicing their taekwondo for this fight. That much is very clear.
For sure. Now, you did see something big right there that could be the difference in striking for Dylan. He's starting to get the notice on those side kicks, and he's learning mid-fight how to adjust and step away from those so that he can get a guaranteed shot.
Absolutely. When you get to that point, the opponent needs to ask themselves, is it worth trying this move again? Because now it's starting to open up. Takes a lot more offense.
You're definitely right. And a big shot from Dylan. Good mix-ups here, using that switch and a body rock. It's over.
Oh,
round emphatic knockout.
Let's go.
Dylan Audrey. With a great win over Tate.
Brandon saying, Tate, this is my house, my land.
For sure.
You want to come up to me, you're going to fall short.
If you're a fight fan, that was just a great fight overall. And let's hope every fight on this card delivers just as much as this.
A great technical showing from Dylan Audrey right there.
Definitely.
I mean, that whole fight, the whole story was just picking and choosing the right shots at the right time.
Those two men were very, very adept at distance management and getting those strikes to land exactly where they wanted them. And Dylan just seemed to have that extra edge going into those striking exchanges that ultimately gave him the win tonight.
Absolutely. Tate came out in the beginning of round 2 very strong, though. You have to give him that. He was not intimidated by the apparent loss of round 1.
He definitely was.
So he's still a man to look out for.
And now for our next fight, we're going to Libre versus Young. And we are officially starting now.
Oh man, I've only ever seen one Eric Young fight before, and it was a good one. I'm hoping it carries over here.
Every Libre fight I have seen seems to go the same way. There's a lot of luchadoring and a whole lot of showmanship going here. As you can see, this man flexing his muscles. Yeah.
Oh, come on, Eric Young. You can show that luchador who's who. Yeah, look at that man. Taking it calm, collected, and serious. A show of respect to the luchador show-off.
And here we go, round 1. Punches being thrown early.
They're just testing each other out here. Trying to get each other's rhythm. That was nice. That was nice. And Libre got hit with a solid knee, too.
Yes. These spinning kicks are working very well, as we can see.
Eric Young is using movement to perfection right now, man.
He really
He's just flipping and weaving.
If you watch him step, you'll notice he's getting right out of range and using his range advantage.
And with that, a correct read on Libre, going for the duck, hits him right with the knee to the temple.
He needs to watch those kicks in the pocket, though. As long as Libre doesn't capitalize on those, this could go very well for Young.
So far, the round is all Young, just over a minute in. He's coming out strong.
He really is, and I like seeing those elbows being used right in that pocket when Libre comes in.
He's doing great work with his knees. This is a man who has been training his Muay Thai.
He definitely has, and you can see that distance management he's been training on that rear knee. Oh.
Almost hit with that switch.
Oh, and
big
a rock.
elbows. Dude, his elbows should be classified as lethal weapons at this point. Man.
I think they already are.
Yeah, he needs a Class 2 license to have those.
He's still throwing them out. And they're working great against his opponent.
I mean, that's his answer when Libre comes into the pocket. He just throws those elbows and knees.
Oh,
you know what? It's a
body rock to Young. Oh,
knockdown to Young.
Things have changed dramatically here.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry. Eric Young has him right where he wants him. There's no need to fear from any Eric Young fans.
Libre is definitely showing he's not going down without a fight.
Oh, absolutely. That knockdown was the answer to those stuns and this head movement. He's saying, you can dodge and weave me all day, but I'm the one that's connected.
Exactly. Oh, wow. That's a beautiful overhand counter. Knowing that exact range is very, very beneficial for Libre.
You could tell that Eric Young was a bit surprised when that landed. He didn't think it had range on it.
Yes, so far he's been getting hit to the body mostly. But now he's starting to take a lot of head damage.
But Young, calm, collected, still going out with his chosen jab straights into leg kicks. That's something you see every time this man fights.
And he's going into the pocket for some close exchanges. But I like the way
he is not afraid.
He definitely isn't.
Yeah, I gotta give it to you. That was a good point. The movement in this fight has just been incredible.
really has.
And both these men are utilizing footwork.
And those elbows especially. But look at that beautiful pull elbow from Libre. He just knew.
He's answering with some elbows of his own at this point. Nice.
And the combos are coming
good
strong.
uppercut.
Definitely.
I don't think there's been any amount of time with no strikes thrown that's been longer than about 4 seconds in this round so far.
For real. There's just
These men are just slugging.
They really are. This is a war at this point.
They went to the Derek Lewis school of fighting. They're just swinging and they're banging.
They really are. Eric really needs to watch those big strikes like the flying knee he's been throwing. Libre seems to be catching on there.
That he is. He's getting better at his defense.
Oh, wow.
A big overhand from Libre.
There's that counter again. He's dialing in on those timings. That's that experience being shown.
Libre is a man who knows the exact range of his attacks, and it is showing.
It definitely is. Wow. What a
Good
close head.
That came within inches of ending this fight, man.
That just shows you how good the movement is on Libre's side. And now
what a
we're in the
round.
second round. That was a great round. Slugfest.
I didn't think it'd get this round 2, man.
I didn't either. Libre actually getting the 2 knockdowns of that round.
He might have clinched that round with that second knock.
I think he did. But Young is catching on about that head movement that Libre is throwing out there in that pocket.
He's going more towards the body again. Good change of plan. He's adjusting on the fly. That's what you want to see out of a fighter. When their initial game plan fails, they go to a plan B.
And it seems to really be working. That spinning kick is now landing, where it definitely wasn't before.
He's making Libre starting to think, is this man going up high? Is he going down low? He's got no clue at this point.
And they're both playing patient, especially into the second round. They know that war took a bit off their head health.
Yes, and they both have a decent little chunk of their stamina going, too. Although stamina advantage does seem to be in Eric Young's favor.
Definitely. It seems like, even though he was knocked down twice by the body, he still has the stamina advantage, which is hard to maintain. But Libre really is throwing a lot of strikes here to try and catch Eric.
Libre's going to an all-out offense right now. Flipping, weaving. He's taken a few pages out of Eric Young's book, the early parts of round 1.
You can see that he's starting to slow this fight down. And that overhand counter hits beautifully, but he needs to watch his head health.
Eric Young needs to be careful with those flying knees. Libre has the lead on them now. He just knows when they're about to come.
He definitely does, and that overhand is something to learn from Libre. He just throws it out there so beautifully, and you'll never expect it coming like that.
Eric Young certainly hasn't. He keeps getting hit with it. Oh, he's starting to throw a little bit wild now. What do you think is going on in the mind of Eric Young right now?
Right now, I'm thinking Eric Young is just trying to frustrate Libre. But he keeps getting in there too close and trying to kick. And it really seems to be taking some years off of his head health.
It seems like he's really focusing on trying to get that one-hit knockout.
He
that flying knee, his spinning kicks. Man.
He needs to just rack up some damage, like he can with that switch kick and that knee.
And these elbows, there we go. He's getting back into the swing of it.
There he definitely is. Those mix-ups might prove to be the key for it. He's got Libre thinking.
Young's answered with an overhand of his own.
And this is a great fight. I am not sure how neither one of these fighters have been knocked down in this round yet.
No, we are all over halfway through round 2, man. And it's just flabbergasting. The big word. The only big word I know.
Big counter. But a nice spinning side kick from Young.
A little bit of distance there. They both wanted to catch their breath.
Yes, it was definitely good for Libre to reset right there. And for them to just maintain that distance.
It seems to be doing good for Eric Young, too. Just that momentary reset of, alright, he can breathe now.
Oh, wow!
Oh!
Big knockdown with those elbows. And those knees taking the
thing. Switch kick! Oh, we got it.
Wow, what composure there from Libre to get out of that ground.
I'm impressed. Oh.
Libre needs to be very careful here. Those knees. Oh, and an uppercut. These men are going at it, just trying to finish one another.
The last minute and a half of this is just one big back and forth.
This is such a brawl right now. And Libre knows he can't afford to not block his head. He's too damaged.
And all of these mix-ups coming from Eric Young is just doing the damage now. Look at the stamina of both of these men. Jeez, man.
It has gotten so low from the beginning of this round. They're doing so much damage to each other.
At this point, I'm surprised if their attacks even have power behind them. They're so tired.
You can definitely almost see Libre's character gassing right now. But he's still taking those punches right on the chin, and the elbows hit him.
Those elbows have been doing Eric Young some favors. He kind of hid those in round 2 and only pulled them out at the end there.
And I'm sure...
Made Libre forget about him.
Definitely. And the only reason Libre is still in this fight is because of his great head movement. But you can see, those elbows are just catching him right there.
Eric Young is taking advantage of Libre's love of that overhand. He's running in with an elbow when he starts those. Oh,
and a show of respect.
Bow from both fighters. You love to see it, especially in wars like this.
Definitely. And we were knocking Libre initially for the showmanship, but he definitely has respect in this ring. Oh, wow! What a counter.
Both men earned respect in this fight.
They definitely do. And it looks like either one of them can finish this at any moment from how they're hurting each other.
Yeah, one moment it looks like Eric's about to finish this fight, and the next moment Libre hits the spinning back fist that almost knocks the man out.
He's going for the ground and pound.
He's going in for the... Can he post up? Oh, there we go. He survived the initial ground and pound.
He got swept by Young. Great wrestling there.
It's something we haven't seen in this fight yet. A little bit of grappling. Let's see who's the better man down here.
But look at Libre.
Oh, good denial.
Exactly. Eric just tasted that he didn't want to be on the ground with Libre.
Absolutely. He couldn't have gotten up quicker from that.
But the knees are coming out. 3 in a row. I'm sure that had to hurt.
Oh man, that Libre's liver has got to be dead right now. And then his head on top of that. Oh boy.
Wow, and the elbows just doing their work. Libre might be out here. He can't sustain the
no, he got up. Oh, not from the clinch.
Oh, and he's on top.
This might just end here.
If he can survive.
Oh, and he has.
Eric Young going into the collar and side saddle.
Utilizing those elbows on the ground.
He really has utilized those elbows perfectly, and he continues to do so from these positions.
You can tell that's his favorite move here. He just loves cutting people open with those elbows.
And look at the blood on that octagon floor.
And if there's that much blood on the octagon floor, imagine the inside of Libre's mask right now. Oh man, I'm surprised he isn't drowning right now.
Libre is doing some great fakes, but it doesn't seem to be enough to get away from Eric Young's crushing pressure on the top now.
Oh, good posting and head movement on the bottom.
He got the sprawl, and he almost got the stand-up there, too. But here comes the submission.
Oh, and Young's putting in a submission. Let's see how it goes.
Oh, it's leaning a bit towards Young.
He's getting deeper.
It definitely is. It could be anyone's submission right here.
And those bars are dead even.
They really are.
Oh, it's gone deeper. Libre is in trouble. This man is gassed. He is tired. He has no stamina, but he is still fighting to get out of it.
It's so close.
I think he is.
He tapped.
Oh, he tapped.
What a finish. What a finish from Eric Young.
That guillotine was just too tight. And he was just a little bit too out of breath there.
It definitely
What a close
was.
fight.
That was a
Let me
great fight.
Oh, absolutely. So far, that has been the most action-packed fight of the night. And let me tell you, a finish by submission is not what I thought would happen there.
Yeah, I really didn't think that would happen there either. But Libre got a little too impatient on the ground and just got stuck there. And it seemed to really cause that submission to actually be viable for Young, because we had seen Young just piecing him up on the feet and them going back and forth.
It was dead even on the feed. Man, I am glad I'm not a judge, because I would have no idea how to score that fight.
Definitely. If there wasn't a finish there, then there would be no telling who had won that, especially with the judges in this game. And
they could be a little bit wild.
They definitely can. But now we're transitioning to a fight from yours truly. This is my fight with Vitoris Mendez, and I promise I won't spoil anything here for you.
Not even a little nugget of information.
You'll
Just
see.
a little bit of help.
I can't spoil anything too much, but I did learn a few tricks for this camp because Vitoris was such a tough opponent for me before.
All right.
So you'll see a few tricks I implement here. So here
You're
we begin.
upgrading your game now. You're still champ, but that doesn't mean you can rest on your laurels.
I definitely can't, and especially not with opponents like this. As you can see, he had 2 wins over me previously.
Oh yeah, you can take him seriously.
Definitely. Mendez really has this great style when going into a fight where he can finish it at any time and you won't expect it. His striking is so well understood.
It's just technically crisp and there, man. He just knows how to throw those hands.
He really does. And if you look, his distance management is just about perfect here as well.
Yeah, I'm shocked nothing's gotten through your defense yet. He's been choosing some real good shots.
He really has.
Although he's taking a little bit to the body.
That uppercut was what won me that first fight initially. And ever since then, I had to drill it. But if you look, he shows extreme varied striking right there.
Absolutely, he went away from the punches and just went for 2 clean spin kicks. But you stunned him right there.
A great overhand from him.
And he's posting up. Oh my God!
I'm sorry, I couldn't spoil the fight.
Man, that was a quick, dominant display.
Thank you, sir. That fight...
You ate some good shots.
Exactly.
But man, that knockdown, the way you extended your leg right up, you hit him clean on the side of the head. Beautiful.
And if not for that head kick, the fight could have dragged on to later rounds, and he is amazing in the later rounds especially. If you let him get any kind of rhythm going, he can really start to put you down. So I knew I had to try and get him out of there quickly. But a big thing for me in that fight was drilling that single leg takedown fake. It's very, very fast, and it can really win you fights if you learn how to utilize it within your combos. And so for our next fight, we're going to be watching Cage versus Doggo Altune. And I believe this will be a great fight, as Altune, from my experience, has always shown up. And he always has that heart that a champion has.
Dogu takes every fight seriously. I mean, I fought this man a handful of times sparring. Let me tell you, he treats me like I'm a #1 contender.
Haha.
And man, it makes me feel good until about 30 seconds later when I'm cold on the mat. He's a dangerous man in that octagon.
He really can finish
So is John
wherever he
Cage.
needs.
Now this, I believe, is the 3rd time they have fought together. Because of John Cage's 3 losses, 2 of them are to Dogu. So this will finally complete their trilogy.
It definitely will, and we're seeing some initial lag here. But I hope this proves to be a banger either way.
Both these men know each other's striking, and with this level of familiarity, can't count either one of them out.
They definitely do. And Altune is piecing him up on the feet initially.
Oh, but Cage had that nice pull hook in there. It landed clean on Altune.
You can tell he knows his habits.
Good switch kick from Altune, though. He's keeping his distance well. That's one thing you see in every single fight of his, is that he moves in, he attacks, and he moves out. He uses distance to his advantage.
And it's a great advantage if you just saw that slipped hook that he did just from moving back. And if you look at his character, you can tell that he's got that unique movement style.
Absolutely. You're not really sure if he's going to go up or down. I mean, he could look like he's going to throw a lead roundhouse to the body, then all of a sudden...
Big slip hook.
Oh, nice slip hook there, though. Cage is not backing down.
He wants to show Altune that he is taking this extremely seriously and he will not let him impose his will.
He believes, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he can beat Altune. And you know what? That's confidence I believe in.
Oh.
Look at that spinning heel kick.
He just showed it right there.
Exactly. You cannot count this man out. Good block there with a nice hook to follow. Gotta say, Cage's counter-striking has been nice so far.
It really has. Altune seems to be trying to dictate the pace of the fight, but Cage is just able to wing back with shots that are hurting Altune just as much.
Altune can't stay forward because if he stays forward too long, Cage takes over the pocket and starts to land.
He definitely does, and you can see him here with his big boxing.
He is the bigger, buffer man. I don't blame him. He wants to stay in the pocket with Altune.
He definitely does, and Altune should be using that spinning sidekick like he is, especially to keep him at range. And those slip hooks, wow, what a lead uppercut.
Ooh, but yeah, that was nice. It was crisp.
Very slick boxing from Altune right here. He just seems to be better at slipping those shots and opening up for those counters, early on at least.
But Cage is out here with landing a lot of these significant strikes.
He is, and
He
especially...
might not connect all the time, but when he does, he hits like a truck.
Exactly. Oh, wow, the axe kick.
Oh, you gotta know when you land those, it is a nice feeling.
It really is, and he's chipping away at the head health.
He's just wearing it down and down and down.
Yeah, Altune might want to take a step back and reset just to get that back up there, like he's doing. You can see he's got that championship experience. He knows this could go all 5 rounds.
You know, something I just noticed. Look at Altune's right leg health. He has switched stances. He is a bit worried about that rear leg now. Cage has been chipping away.
Oh, wow. Wow, what a smooth mix-up.
Well, that almost drained out his entire block right there.
And Cage with some very slick movement here. But he really needs to sidestep those spinning side kicks. But nice boxing with that straight lead uppercut rock.
Jumped right in and stunned Altune. Scared him right there. But then Altune answered back with another stun of his own.
This seems to be another banger.
Oh man, they are just throwing at each other.
They don't even care that their head health is low. They just want to put on a show.
That is true. Man, and this is a show so far.
Oh
nice spinning back kick. I bet you that John Cage is real happy that landed right there.
That has to be a confidence booster, but Doggu knows that going into these next few rounds, he's sapped that stamina completely. This is just the end of the first round. And it's almost a little above half.
John Cage is at his best at the starts of fights. You know, he's a very big, explosive fighter. And it's really shown. He was throwing haymaker after haymaker in that round.
He definitely...
But Doggu, you know, he stepped back and he chose. You know, I said it a lot so far, but he picked his shots and they landed clean. You can tell the stamina difference is starting to become apparent.
It really is. Cage might need to try and get this done early if he wants a win here, because that first round was a bit too close.
But with the way he's been counter-striking so far, Cage can do it. He can catch this man and knock his lights out.
And you can see the feints start to be becoming a real threat here. He doesn't know what Altune is going to throw next.
That is a big question when you fight Altune. It's like a puzzle book. You're trying to piece together a jigsaw puzzle of his striking. It's 5,000 pieces and you only have 4,263.
Oh, great slip hook there. And we've seen that become one of the biggest tools for Altune in this fight.
It has been rocking John Cage very frequently, man. Alright, Cage's lead uppercut specifically has been just eating away at Doggu Altune's chin.
They definitely have, and especially when Doggu steps into that pocket and he tries to kick in that pocket. That's what's been getting Cage most of his rocks here.
Yeah, when he tries to do that spinning back kick to the spinning side kick to the body, a little bit too close. John Cage comes in with that uppercut, makes him pay.
Oh, and that big spinning kick. It seems like that's landing a lot on Altune.
That is just destroying this man's head health. It is a big kick, and when that lands, it kicks back like a mule.
It really does. You can just see that Altune is just getting a bit hesitant here, trying to wait for that big shot to come. But he's coming in and landing some nice combos on Cage.
Cage keeps catching him in these leg kicks, though. This man has been kicking metal pole after metal pole in his training camp. Let me tell you what. I had to provide him with 15 metal poles for this camp, preparing for this fight. I asked him, what are you doing to these poles, man? I get them back and they're bent 90 degrees. He just told me it's a surprise. I guess this is the surprise.
The surprise is that head kick for sure. It seems like Doggu has a big vulnerability. Great knockdown from Doggu with that lead uppercut.
Both of these men are just trading the balance of power back and forth. It is another war. The stamina difference is just increasing, though.
It really is. I feel
And
though...
for an explosive fighter like John Cage, that doesn't bode well for him in later rounds.
It definitely doesn't, but using those feints, like he's doing with that explosive kick that's caught Altune, could prove to show an opening, along with the leg kicks as well. He seems to be doing very well on those.
Yes, exactly. His stamina might be lower, but all he needs is one opening. And boy, can he take advantage of those openings. Good slip work by Cage right there, dodging that jab and cross.
He really has great slips, but he just gets sat down, and the show of respect. Oh, you could tell he was mad there.
He wants to get up and finish this. He did not like the way he fell backwards there. And Altune, like you said, a nice show of respect. But he wants to finish this fight on the feet. He wants to get a nice standing knockout. And that might actually lose him this fight.
Altune's very smart. He's just baiting him to come in and get hit by those big shots.
Good roundhouse connection from Cage, though.
Oh, wow, in the straight.
Another knockdown.
The elbow down in, and he's going to wear his body down. What a smart fighter that Altune is.
And now relentless pressure on top. You gotta think, John Cage is just hoping he lasts these last 13 seconds.
He really is. But he got the sweep there. There might be something in Cage's grounding.
You know, as my mama always said, always end on top. And that's exactly what John Cage did right there.
He definitely did. Good show of display when it comes to his sweeps. Just getting to that full guard position. It could prove to be useful in these later rounds, especially where he's going to have no stamina.
Gotta think maybe he might start trying to out-grapple Altune a little bit. You know, drain his stamina on the ground. You know, a little bit of knee work, some body hooks down there. But so far, he just wants to stand up a little bit more.
He does, and I think
chipping away at that leg.
Altune is smelling blood right here. He just knows that if he pressures just a little, he can get Cage to throw those big shots.
And he's eating away at his arms right there. You gotta think, John Cage's arms have gotta just lost all feeling by now.
And that body too. Altune is mixing him up so well, and those knees have just put him down.
Weapons of mass destruction. That is what they are.
Oh, and there's some taunting going on here.
Oh, but they're paying for it.
Cage really needs to punish that kick, but he can't. Not when he's on the ground.
Oh, Altune's not saying, I could finish you at any time, boy. But I'm choosing not to.
He's definitely playing with him. And if he keeps playing with him like this, you can see an upset happening.
You know what happened to Anderson Silva? He played with his food a little bit too much.
Oh, wow. And a picture
not what happened this time.
Kick.
Oh, that was just clean. I want to see this replay again, man.
Let's see if it'll show it here for us. That was extremely clean work.
A high-level knockout. And that was exactly what he was looking for. Look at that.
Wow. And
right to the side of the head.
Slow motion. What a perfect camera angle for that as well.
And that cameraman, he needs a bonus.
He definitely does. He's the real MVP.
That is another highlight reel knockout for Dogu Altune, the PlayStation Heavy Division champion.
It really was. I mean, Altune just showed that his striking was leagues above the rest. He really capitalized on those little bits of space, and I think he frustrated Cage. I think Cage just got a bit too worked up and kept getting up immediately. He should have been letting himself heal a little bit, regenerate while he was on his back, while Dogu Altune was just letting him stay down.
Absolutely. You gotta think he's kicking himself in the shins back there saying, man, I could have had it.
He really could have, but who knows how that fight might have turned out with a few adjustments. Although next, we're going on to Brunson versus Sip. And this
I gotta say, I'm most excited for this fight.
This, I would hope, proves to be a banger.
Man, with these guys, a banger is going to be necessary. Because, I mean, Brunson's out here. He wants to prove that he is an exciting champ. He wants to take the belt from Sip in an exciting fashion. But Sip, this man, let me tell you, I've gone to his school of grappling. This man is the best wrestler I have ever seen.
His pressure is like no other. It's very hard to get away from it. And let's see if that's
Absolutely.
what we find here in this fight.
A lot of people say that Sip is just a wrestler. He can't stand up. I've seen it said that the man has no rhythm. Now, let me tell you, that is not true. He has been putting together nice combos in practice with me. Man, when we fight, he's just piecing me up on the feet. This man can definitely stand up.
And you're completely right. This man definitely can. And just watching this, seeing that Brunson is the aggressor straight away.
Instant takedown from Brunson.
Oh, but
this is going to be a wrestling heavy fight. These are two elite level grapplers at it.
They really are, and you can see that Sip was just able to get up to his feet so easily.
He's got the leg caught right into a roundhouse. Charles Brunson, he might have some very vocal haters, but let me tell you, he is the real deal in the octagon. He has taken Sip down twice now.
And it's only been the first minute. Think about what he's going to do. He's just chipping away. You can see that patience. And if you were watching how he was moving on the feet, he was moving specifically to dodge Sip's straights. I think he's going to want to try and tax him. But Sip gets a great sweep right there, out of nowhere. Right in.
And here that relentless pressure from Sip comes. He's pressing down into Brunson with an almost almighty fury.
Oh, and he decides to get up.
That is an interesting decision. He wants to catch Brunson a little bit more.
But Brunson...
Oh, but another takedown.
Brunson says, no, I'm not going to let you get back to the feet. But it keeps happening. Brunson really needs to get on those denials if he wants to keep this on the ground where he's been taking it to.
Let me tell you, this is not how I thought this fight would go. I thought Sip would be the one wanting to wrestle, and that Brunson would be the one wanting to stand up. But so far, it's been mostly Sip wanting to stand up and just swing.
It really has. And I wonder how this decision is going to play for Sip later on in the fight.
Hopefully he doesn't Ronda Rousey himself here and fool himself into thinking that he's an elite boxer, which he is.
He does have great stand-up, but he should play to his advantages.
Exactly.
Oh, great takedown defense. He's starting to learn about those drives.
He's starting to catch on to Brunson's offensive wrestling.
He's realizing Brunson is just driving as soon as he starts the takedown.
But now these men are just standing up.
They really are, and look at that experience to dodge the side kick and take advantage of that opening for a clinch.
Brunson is just trying to punish that body.
He really is. And he's definitely mixing things up well.
I'd say it is right about now, it's like dead even on the feet. These men are of equal standing when they are throwing hands at each other.
I feel like Sip is going to that clinch a bit more. He's trying to work that to his advantage, trying to get those knees in. But they never seem to be landing, except for on his block.
Brunson has high-level defense, let me tell you, man.
He really does.
This man, he knows when to block and where to block.
And as you can see from his movement, he's just getting away from those knees, trying to bring things back to where he's in a favorable position.
He was just trying to bring Sip to uppercut city right there in that clinch. Did you see that, man? Jeez.
I did, and he lands a big head kick. These mix-ups are really getting to Sip. But Sip puts him down.
He is finding the little gaps inside of Sip's armor, and he is exploiting them.
I feel like Sip should be really taking advantage of these trips that he's getting in this clinch. I haven't seen him try to jump on any of them.
He wants to stand up, man. He wants to prove the naysayers wrong. That he is an elite level striker as well. He is not just your everyday wrestler.
Oh, wow. Look at that amazing duck to the single leg under. That was perfect timing from Sip.
Absolutely, man. My God. Oh, good denial from Brunson there.
A Kimura attempt.
Oh, let's see how the sub-offense and defenses line up.
Sip is a bit too stamina intensive to just be submitted straight away like that.
He is slippery, man. Look at that bar. It is just filling up.
Oh, but the
Even
chain.
with that chain.
And he'll get straight out and get reversed over into side control. And that's the end to a very back and forth round one.
You know, I never got a sense of who was leading the fight at any real point. Because as soon as you think that Brunson was taking the lead, Sip moved in and landed a nice hook. And vice versa. I mean, these men, they are similar levels in standing up, and they are similar levels in the grappling. Not often you really see fights like that.
For sure. And it seems as if Brunson is starting to learn that this pressure can get to Sip if he lets it.
Oh, but he's just throwing those hooks out.
Sip has decided he's not going to let a single bit of ground go. He's going to push. And this is probably going to work well for him.
Man, he must be planning to go fishing after this because of all these hooks that he has. My God.
Brunson tried for that takedown, but he decided to fake it.
It's a little bit too far away. It was a good call. You know, no need to waste stamina.
It definitely was, and you can see his stamina's already taking a bit of a dip just from how many takedowns he's attempted.
Both of those men seem to have similar levels of stamina depletion.
Definitely. It's just because this has been such a back and forth. They're being so technical, trying not to make any mistakes.
Because they know if they make any mistake at all, the other guy's going to pick up on it and take advantage. These are two guys who know exactly how good the other is.
They really do, and that lead body kick seems to be landing on Sip quite a bit.
Oof, nice lead hook from Brunson there.
Oh, and Brunson going for the single leg, and he gets it right up against the fence.
You know, man, those Brunson haters might have a thing or two to say right now, but he is doing one heck of a job against our PlayStation Light Division champion.
He's bringing it to Sip. And
but Sip shows that he is the champ already with that beautiful get-up.
Sip knows that if he goes down, he can just get right back up. He showed it for sure.
He is confident in his grappling. And he knows that he can get up when he wants to. And he can reverse and take top position when he wants to.
He definitely can. But he's now starting to get predictable in Brunson's head. Look at Brunson and those great fakes.
Both of these men just have a feel for the grappling. They're denying each other left and right.
They really do, and this might work out in Brunson's favor for this round especially, just because of the amount of takedowns he's landed, and now the control he's going to have from keeping Sip here.
I tend to agree with you there. I think those takedowns are really clinching him each round. I mean, these rounds are close no matter how you score them. But it's just another number in the favor of Charles Brunson.
Oh, but a nice sweep into half guard from Sip. But he gets taken into another submission.
Oh boy, Brunson is very insistent on trying to get a submission on Sip right now.
He really is trying that. But it seems like Sip's sub-defense, his stamina isn't quite low enough for Brunson just to be able to make him tap just like that.
Sip is too good at getting out of submissions. He's a little bit too slippery to get submitted with that much stamina.
But he keeps getting caught in these. I'm wondering why he can't, or why he's not denying this Kimura.
Not a lot of people tend to go for as many submissions back to back as Brunson is doing. He's just getting caught off guard here.
And it could really prove to be something that gains Brunson the favor of the judges, especially on this bottom position.
Brunson is just doing everything he can to get just point after point in his favor with these judges.
Oh, wow, look, and another from Brunson.
This man is a submission machine. My God. Do you happen to know if he booked a trip to Brazil by any chance?
It looks like he's been training with the Gracies from what I can see, but it still doesn't quite seem to be enough to make Sip tap.
He might be training with the Gracies, but man, Sip might have been training with Kazushi Sakuraba, the Gracie killer. Because he is just punishing Brunson now.
Uh-oh.
He has had enough.
No stamina. He's
smart move from him. And Brunson just with these hooks from the bottom, man. This guy's got some moxie.
He really does, and denying both of those posture up attempts just gave him, I think, a little bit of stamina advantage over Sip.
He is doing a phenomenal job on the feet and on the ground here.
He really
against
is.
the champion.
We're in round 3, and look at these men's stamina.
I mean, they're almost full. Man! I mean, if any two men can go all 25 minutes, it is these two right here.
It definitely is, but now Sip is getting a feel for the feet.
Oh, he is just punishing Brunson.
And Brunson
spears him into the ground. Man, he's really leaning into the bald head right there. He might have thought that he was Goldberg for a second with that spear.
And the ground and pound coming out. Sip really needs.
He was a little bit upset by Sip's ground and pound at the end of round 2 there. He is making Sip pay.
And I think he just wants to show Sip that he can hold him here. But Sip said, no, you can't.
The slippery eel that this man is, he just wormed his way out onto the feet. I swear.
Becoming very interesting.
This has been a fascinating fight. Because neither man has really any clear advantage, whether it be on the feet or standing up.
Yeah, I think you can really only give one definitive round, maybe to Brunson last round, just because of the control and the submissions. But wow, look at that pull down. And those
takedowns, too.
Inches away. And Sip showing he can take Brunson down.
There we go. He's starting to do a little bit more offensive wrestling of his own. Coming in with those hooks.
Oh, that was a very quick takedown from Brunson. I don't think many players would be able to stop that.
Brunson can whip out takedowns like most players can whip out kicks. Just at a moment's notice, you're on the ground and he is on top of you.
It shows those fast hands. But he might be getting a little too greedy trying to transition straight to side control.
Back sitting from Sip, taking.
I don't understand.
Letting him up.
Sip's logic there, letting him up.
Listen, he has him right where he wants him. The Sip school of grappling is elite, but he wants to open up its sister location, the Sip school of beating the crap out of people.
He really does. He's trying to be extremely exciting here. And it might pay off for him. He's got a good bit of head health damage on Brunson now.
He's just picking away at Brunson, but Brunson's doing the same, man.
They're both just being so technical about this. And you see right there, when Sip throws a knee, Brunson throws a knee. They're just trying to trade back and forth just to get the edge.
And then Brunson again with another double leg takedown right into top position.
Oh, and Sip gets denied on that get up. This could be bad,
Oh,
but
man.
he's handling it like a champ.
Sip is the champion. That is correct. He's handling it like a champ because he is the champ. This man, he is calm, collected, and cool as a cucumber on the ground, whether he's on top or he's on the bottom.
You're extremely correct about that. He's seeing just those little openings in Brunson's fakes, and he's trying to capitalize on them.
And look at that patience right there to take full guard onto Brunson. And I gotta say, I think Sip might be aiming to get a reversal here.
He did, just as you said. He got that reversal there, and now Brunson is looking with low stamina, but Sip decides
And he lets him up.
Again. He wants to beat
He wants.
on the
Yeah, he doesn't just want to win. He wants to beat this man.
And look at those hooks.
They are finding a hole. Good offensive judo takedown from Sip right there.
Oh, and he gets reversed by Brunson with that posture on that hook.
And now he's raining down his own ground and pound.
Brunson hurt
These men
Sip.
are just trying to bash each other's faces through the mat.
Brunson, he has him so low. Oh my god.
We got a new champion!
And new. Wow, that was insane.
Light Division champion, Charles Brunson. Oh man,
I think
that felt weird to say.
it really did, and Brunson there just showed that you cannot play around with him. If he gets you on the ground, he's trying to finish you.
Absolutely. You gotta think Sip letting him up just a few too many times might have lost him that fight. Because that was a damn close one.
It really might have. And that was extremely close. I'm surprised.
Oh, what a main event.
That was an amazing main event. Those were some great cards. And this was absolutely great to watch. Just as a fight fan in general.
Yes. Absolutely. I mean, every single fight on this card was just a banger for one reason or another. I mean, you had the war between Libre and Young. You had the technical exchange between Audrey and Tate. You had your one-round knockout of Mendez. We have Altune Cage just going at each other. And then this wrestling-heavy mat clinic put on by Brunson and Sip here.
It was extremely interesting just to watch Brunson sneak in those takedowns at a moment's notice, just to see Sip get straight back up. These fights were absolutely amazing, and they were all just fights where you couldn't tell what was going to happen. I don't think any of them, except for arguably Altune's fight, was very clear cut.
I agree with you there. Every single fight was pretty close, and even Altune's was close at times. I mean, man, the top of these divisions are just filled with killers.
They definitely are, and you have to respect each and every one of them, because if you don't, you might just end up like some of the champions we've seen here.
Exactly. If you don't take them too seriously, you might lose your belt like we saw happen tonight.
But that was a great event, everyone. If you'd like to support our league, there is content on the channel, and you can follow us on Twitter at ICF Fight League.
So you can subscribe here on the YouTube to watch future cards, and if you want to compete, you think you can take these boys on, you come on down to our Discord, and you get yourself a fight.
And we will make sure to schedule that for you. Thank you, everyone, and have a great night. This has been ICF.